The Coming to America cast looked like they had it all in 1988, but behind the cameras, their lives were falling apart in the most disturbing ways. One star left her children in another country to chase fame. Another disappeared completely and used fake names online to defend himself. A beloved father figure was found dead, and his family didn't even know for 45 days. Secret illnesses, financial scandals, and family betrayals tore them apart. What really happened to these actors over 37 years will make you question everything. Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy's life after coming to America is nothing like the movies. It's bigger, messier, and full of twists that even Hollywood couldn't write better. After decades in the spotlight, his fortune has climbed to around $200 million. His films have pulled in almost $7 billion at the global box office. That makes him the sixth highest-grossing American actor ever. Over the past 40 years, he's earned over $420 million. And yet, in 2012, Forbes called him the most overpaid actor in Hollywood, saying he returned only $2.30 for every dollar spent on him. Somehow, even that didn't slow him down. But what truly surprises people isn't the money, it's his personal life. Eddie Murphy has 10 children with 5 different women. His first son, Eriq, is from his early relationship with Paulette McNeely. He had 5 more children with Nicole Mitchell, who later became his wife. They eventually divorced. Then came Tamara Hood, with whom he shares a son named Christian. His relationship with Spice Girl Mel B brought daughter Angel into his life. And finally, there's Paige Butcher, the Australian model he dated for 12 years before finally marrying her in July of 2024. They held a private wedding in Anguilla. Paige wore a $50,000 lace gown by Mira Zwillinger, and Eddie showed up in a white Brioni suit. If that wasn't unexpected enough, Eddie recently became in-laws with his old friend Martin Lawrence. In May of 2025, Eddie's 35-year-old son, Eriq, married Martin's 29-year-old daughter, Jasmine. The couple had originally planned a big wedding, but shocked everyone by eloping in a quiet church ceremony. Only the bride, the groom, and the preacher were there. Both families found out after the fact. While his family life kept getting more complex, his career made a comeback. At 63 years old, he returned as Axel Foley in Beverly Hills Cop, Axel F., which landed on Netflix in July of 2024. Before that, he starred in Dolomite Is My Name, which came out in 2019. That performance earned him a Golden Globe nomination. That same year, he hosted Saturday Night Live for the first time since 1984. The episode was such a hit that he won his first Primetime Emmy Award for it. Somehow, through all the noise, Eddie changed. The man once known for his wild lifestyle has shifted into something more grounded. In 2019, his son Miles became a father, and Eddie became a grandfather to little Evie. That moment changed everything. These days, he says he cares more about being there for his kids than chasing fame. He may still be one of the biggest names in comedy, but behind the scenes, he's a full-time dad, a husband, and a proud grandfather. And after all the chaos, that might be his biggest role yet. Arsenio Hall. After coming to America made him a household name, Arsenio Hall could have easily chased more fame. Instead, his life took a path that most people didn't see coming. In 1989, he launched The Arsenio Hall Show. It was fresh, loud, and totally different from anything else on TV. His audience was younger, more diverse, and fully behind his signature chant. When Bill Clinton played the saxophone on Hall's stage in 1992, it felt like the culture had shifted. Hall wasn't just a host. He was the moment. But just as fast as it rose, the show ended in 1994. The sudden cancellation shocked fans. Some blamed his interview with Louis Farrakhan. Others pointed to rising competition from Jay Leno and David Letterman. Either way, Hall lost major markets. And almost overnight, he was gone. From 1994 to 1997, he completely vanished. People started guessing. Was he in rehab? Was he hiding from the press? None of it was true. Hall later admitted he used a fake name on message boards just to defend himself online. He typed, "I know Arsenio better than anyone else, and he's not in detox, you idiots." He had quietly disappeared on purpose. No scandal, no breakdown, just silence. During that time, something deeper was going on. In the 1990s, Hall learned he might not be able to have children. Doctors told him it probably wasn't possible. That news hit hard. He later said the idea of not becoming a dad saddened me big time. But in 1999, he became a father. His son, Arsenio Hall Jr., was born. When his relationship with his partner ended, Hall made a decision that shocked even those closest to him. He left Hollywood to raise his son alone. For nearly 15 years, he turned down big offers. He didn't care. He wanted to be a dad, full-time. He drove him to school, helped with homework, read bedtime stories. He said, "I have no regrets. I was able to raise my son in a way that my parents weren't able to be in my life." But Hall couldn't stay away from controversy forever. In 2016, Sinead O'Connor accused him of fueling Prince's drug habit and said he spiked her drink. Hall sued her for $5 million. The case made headlines, but she later apologized and retracted everything. Hall dropped the lawsuit. It was one of many moments that showed how fame kept circling back to him even when he didn't want it. Then, in 2012, something unexpected happened. He joined Celebrity Apprentice and won. Out of 18 contestants, Hall beat everyone. He raised $250,000 for the Magic Johnson Foundation and proved he still had the charm, drive, and discipline that made him famous in the first place. Money-wise, he did just fine. His net worth has been estimated between $16 million and $35 million. That includes earnings from his original show, the 2013 reboot, and other projects. Even though his 2013 talk show revival only lasted one season, it paid well and helped reintroduce him to a younger audience. Through all of it, Hall stayed focused on one thing: his son. Arsenio Jr., who now goes by Sharon, graduated from Indiana University in 2023. For Hall, that was the biggest win of all. He raised his son the way he wanted. Now, with his son grown, he's slowly stepping back into comedy and television again. Not chasing fame, just doing what he loves. James Earl Jones. James Earl Jones became a legend long before most people even saw his face. His voice alone shaped childhoods, inspired generations, and gave life to giants like Darth Vader and Mufasa. But behind that powerful voice was a man fighting a private battle, one he didn't even know he was facing. In the mid-1990s, when he was in his 60s, he joined a diet and fitness program to improve his health. One day, while resting between sessions, he fell asleep on a gym bench. A doctor nearby saw it and said, "That's not normal." It wasn't. Jones went for tests, and the result hit him like a thunderbolt. He had type 2 diabetes. He'd been living with it for years without knowing. His mother had it, others in his family had it, but somehow it had slipped past him unnoticed, even while he was working on major projects like voicing Mufasa in The Lion King and Darth Vader in the Star Wars prequels. When he was diagnosed, everything changed. Not just for him, but for his whole family. He once said, "My whole family became diabetics. Not because they were sick, but because they changed their lives around his." His wife and son started watching everything he ate. They became his support system. They helped him steer clear of the desserts he loved, especially strawberry shortcake. Together, they turned it into a team effort. That effort worked. Jones managed the disease for more than 20 years, all the way until he passed away on September 9, 2024, in Pawling, New York. He was 93. Even with diabetes, Jones never slowed down. In 1991, he won 2 Primetime Emmy Awards in the same year, one for Best Actor in Gabriel's Fire, the other for Best Supporting Actor in Heat Wave. He kept acting well into his 90s. At age 90, he returned to play King Jaffe Joffer in Coming to America, a sequel to the film that had made him iconic to a new generation. It was his last role. He earned something that only a few performers ever achieve, an EGOT. That means he won an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, and a Tony. In 2022, 2 years before he died, Broadway renamed the Court Theater to the James Earl Jones Theater. It was a rare honor while still alive. Shari Headley. Shari Headley became a star overnight after Coming to America came out in 1988. Her role as Lisa McDowell won hearts everywhere, and fans expected she'd become a regular face in Hollywood. But what happened after that was far more complicated than anyone imagined. Her career took strange turns, her personal life was full of setbacks, and the spotlight never truly followed her where she went next. In May 1993, Shari married Christopher Martin, known to millions as Play from the hip-hop duo Kid and Play. For a moment, it looked like a perfect match, but that happy image didn't last long. Just 2 years later, they divorced in June 1995. During that short time, they had a son named Skylar, born in April 1994. After the split, Martin became distant. He didn't just disappear from her life, but from his sons as well. The situation became so tense that legal action followed. Martin faced charges for unpaid child support, and Shari ended up raising their son on her own. Before that troubled marriage, Shari had been linked to Russell Simmons in the 1980s. Simmons once said she was ambitious and not easily moved by fame or attention. That brief relationship didn't lead to anything permanent, but it showed early on that Shari wasn't going to be another Hollywood stereotype. What's surprising is that she never planned on being an actress at all. Her father, Godfrey, was a dental technician, and she wanted to become a doctor. She was a pre-med student, focused on science and medicine. But in 1984, her sister sent her photo to Ford Modeling Agency without even telling her. Shari ended up winning the Face of the 80s campaign. She was signed instantly. Still, she held on to her dream of working in medicine until the day she watched an autopsy. That moment changed everything. She realized she had the brain for the work, but not the stomach for it. After Coming to America, her film career didn't explode the way many expected, but she quietly built a solid name in television. She got an NAACP Image Award nomination for a show called 413 Hope Saint, which aired from 1997 to 1998. It didn't last long, but it meant something. Around the same time, she started doing something most people never saw coming. She began working with rival girl gangs in Brooklyn schools. She wasn't just making appearances. Principals would call her directly to help break up fights and calm things down. She became a respected voice in the community. While most actresses focused on headlines, Shari was in classrooms trying to change lives. In 2021, she came back to screens in Coming to America. It had been 33 years since her breakout role. A lot had changed, but she still had the same presence, the same spark. Her return wasn't just a movie cameo, it was a full-circle moment. After all the years, the struggles, and the detours, she proved she still belonged. John Amos. John Amos was more than just an actor. He was a symbol of strength on screen. The man who played Cleo McDowell, James Evans, and so many others left behind a legacy that stretched over 50 years. But the final chapter of his life was filled with heartbreak that no one saw coming. He passed away on August 21st, 2024, at 5:18 p.m. at Centinela Hospital in Inglewood, California. The official cause was congestive heart failure, but what happened after that sent shockwaves through his family and fans alike. His daughter, Shannon Amos, didn't even know he had died until 45 days later. She found out through the media. She was 58 years old when she shared the news on Instagram with a heavy heart. She said, "Our family has received the sorrowful news that my father, John Allen Amos Jr., passed away on August 21st. We are heartbroken and left with numerous questions regarding how this occurred 45 days. learning it through media like many of you. The sadness in her voice was matched only by the confusion. Things only got worse. John Amos had already been cremated just 9 days after he died, on August 30th. His family wasn't told. There was no funeral, no last goodbye. That fast cremation raised serious doubts. Some family members believed it was done to stop any deeper look into how he really died. Shannon, along with John's brother Leslie Franklin, granddaughter Quiera Williams, and longtime business manager Paul Baldassare, released a statement saying they wouldn't rule out foul play. All signs pointed to John's son, Kelly Christopher Amos, also known as KC. He was listed as the person who reported the death on the certificate. But Shannon had already accused him of something far more serious. She claimed KC had isolated their father from loved ones, impersonated him in emails and texts, and mishandled his finances. Shannon even launched a GoFundMe campaign to raise $500,000 for legal support and medical bills. The page later vanished. In July 2023, KC was arrested in New Jersey during all this chaos. He denied every claim against him. Investigators from Homeland Security and Adult Protective Services looked into the case, but said they found no proof of abuse. Even so, the damage to the family was already done. The trust was broken, and the questions kept piling up. Through all the pain, John's career stood tall. At 81, he returned to the big screen in Coming to America in 2021. He played Cleo McDowell one last time with charm and pride. Fans welcomed him back with open arms. It was a full-circle moment, a gentle farewell from a man who shaped television history with roles in Good Times and Roots. Madge Sinclair. She was already 30 when she made a choice most mothers wouldn't dare. In 1968, Madge Sinclair left Jamaica and flew to New York City to chase her dream of becoming an actress. She didn't just leave behind a job, she left behind her 2 young sons, Gary and Wayne. Their father, Royston Sinclair, stayed in Jamaica and raised them. It was the kind of sacrifice that came with no promises, only risk. Up until then, she had worked as a school teacher, safe, steady, and respected. But she gave all that up for something completely uncertain. Her marriage didn't survive the separation. In 1969, just a year after she moved, she and Royston officially divorced. That same year, she started over. She picked up work as a model and slowly began finding her way into New York's acting world. It wasn't fast or glamorous, it was hard, but she found a path through stage work, eventually landing roles with the New York Shakespearean Festival and Joseph Papp's Public Theater. Then came television. In 1979, she was cast in the show Trapper John, M.D. She was building momentum, but behind the scenes, something serious was happening. In 1982, she was diagnosed with leukemia. She didn't make it public. For 13 years, she fought cancer quietly while continuing to work. Doctors didn't expect her to live very long, but she did. She pushed through those predictions and kept showing up. That same year, she got married again. Her second husband was actor Dean Compton. Their marriage started in 1982, just as her illness began. He stayed by her side all the way through. He was there through the treatments, through the fatigue, through all of it. While many would have stepped back, she stayed in the spotlight. Not out of pride, but because she loved her work. Her career didn't slow down. In 1991, 9 years into her illness, she won the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Supporting Actress in a drama series for her role in Gabriel's Fire. She had already been nominated 5 times, but this one finally brought the win. It was proof that she still had it. Even as cancer continued to spread, her performances didn't lose their power. Then came a role that almost felt like fate. In 1994, she voiced Sarabi in The Lion King. She played Simba's mother, the Lion Queen, opposite James Earl Jones as Mufasa. It was a quiet reunion for the pair, who had once played royalty together in Coming to America. That performance would be her last. The film came out in 1994. 1 year later, on December 20th, 1995, she died at age 57, 13 years after her diagnosis. She passed away at Good Samaritan Hospital in Los Angeles. Her ashes were scattered back in her hometown in Jamaica. After nearly 3 decades away, she returned home in the only way she could. In 2000, 5 years after her death, the Jamaican government honored her with the Order of Distinction, Commander rank, for her service to the arts. In just 2 decades, she acted in 27 television shows and 17 films. Every one of them built on that one decision she made back in 1968, to leave everything familiar behind, to take a chance, to follow her passion, no matter the cost. Her story wasn't just about talent, it was about strength, about doing something terrifying and staying with it, even when the pain came, even when time was running out. Eriq La Salle. Eriq La Salle was born on July 23, 1962, in Hartford, Connecticut. His full name is Eriq La Salle. Most people only remember him as the cocky boyfriend from Coming to America. But behind that shallow character was someone raised in struggle and silence. His foster mother, Ada Haynes, worked several jobs to care for 4 children. No one in the family really understood his obsession with acting. They called him the Black Sheep. While others looked for steady jobs, Eriq held on to a dream that felt completely out of reach. What came next stunned everyone. He landed a role on ER that changed everything. Dr. Peter Benton wasn't just another character, he became a household name. Over 8 seasons, La Salle picked up 3 Emmy nominations in 1995, 1997, and 1998. He also earned a Golden Globe nod in 1998. He won 3 NAACP Image Awards, including 2 back-to-back in 2000 and 2002. It wasn't just about awards. He brought something new to TV, a serious, complex black lead who felt real. But the story didn't stop when he left ER. Most actors fade out. He didn't. He stepped behind the camera and took control. As an executive producer and director for Dick Wolf Entertainment, he helped run Chicago PD for 4 years. He also directed episodes for Law and Order, Organized Crime, and more. His work reached across major networks like HBO, Showtime, NBC, Fox, and CBS. Quietly, he became one of the most trusted directors in the business. Then came another surprise. At 61, he started writing novels. Not just any novels, thrillers. In 2022 and 2023, he released 3 books: Laws of Depravity, Laws of Wrath, and Laws of Annihilation. Critics loved them, but La Salle admitted it wasn't easy. Breaking into a genre mostly led by white men reminded him of his early days in Hollywood. He said gatekeepers always showed up in his life, and breaking past them took more than talent. It took patience and grit. Now, in 2025, he's doing it all. He's starring in On Call on Amazon. He's also directing it. And he's the executive producer. It's the first streaming scripted show from Wolf Entertainment. La Salle said he was inspired by Jason Bateman's work on Ozark, where one person can do everything. Now, he's doing just that. Eriq La Salle's career isn't just about acting. It's about quietly climbing every wall that was put in front of him. From the forgotten kid in Hartford to one of Hollywood's most powerful storytellers, his journey proves that reinvention isn't just possible. It can be unstoppable.